Ok, buongiorno, benvenuti tutti quanti al Pisa MSX DEVCON. Questo è un sogno per noi che si realizza, è un sogno che è iniziato più di un anno fa, come sapete, è iniziato a Barcellona quando per la prima volta ho incontrato il Gadducci, mi ha chiesto di organizzare la sua venuta qui in Italia e quindi abbiamo fondato la nostra associazione e siamo riusciti a realizzare questo sogno. Quindi vi ringrazio tutti, ma soprattutto ringrazio chi veramente mi ha permesso, insieme a tutti gli altri soci che hanno fondato l'associazione, chi ha permesso la realizzazione di questo evento che è veramente unico per l'Italia. E io voglio ringraziare primariamente Cesare Zavattari, Marco Casali, Alessandro Tiso, Alfio Corsaro, Andrea Di Dio e Nicola Progelli, che mi sono sempre stati accanto e mi hanno sempre aiutato. Grazie. Però questo evento non sarebbe nato se non ci fossero stati gli sponsor, quindi io devo ringraziare assolutamente prima di tutto Francesco Zavattari, che ha due importanti aziende e ci hanno permesso di allestire e realizzare tutta la parte, diciamo, grafica e comunicativa di questo evento con la matita nera SRL e AIntuition. Quindi lo chiamo qui per presentare la sua azienda.
Buongiorno a tutti, non sarà uno spot, quindi non ruberò tempo, solo un saluto. È per dire anzi che questa sponsorizzazione è prima di tutto non solo per il prestigio naturalmente, ma è anche una cosa di cuore, perché io stesso, grazie a mio fratello che oggi qua è uno degli organizzatori, sono nato e ho vissuto la mia infanzia con questa splendida creatura che è l'MSX. Quindi sia con Matita Nera sia con AIntuition noi cerchiamo di mettere al centro del progetto sempre la persona, le persone, anche in combinazione con la tecnologia. Quindi questo era un evento bellissimo proprio per rappresentare anche questo concetto, cioè vedere tutte queste persone che si animano dietro a un computer nato più di 40 anni fa e che ancora oggi continua a emozionare è fortemente in linea, diciamo, con quello che noi facciamo ogni giorno. Di AIntuition potete leggere anche attraverso i cartoncini che vi abbiamo dato, i gadget che avete, quindi se volete leggere di più, entrare in contatto, collaborare con noi sarà un piacere. I would like also to thank our special guest here, mainly because, well, in my childhood I had many beautiful moments thanks to your creation, and well, thanks to my brother or even by my own, as my other friends were used to play with little cars or little trucks, I was used to write my first lines of codes with your amazing MSX. So thanks a lot for being here. Grazie a tutti voi, godetevi la giornata, speriamo che apprezzerete i piccoli gadget che abbiamo fatto per voi. Grazie.
Grazie Francesco. Grazie Francesco è anche socio.
Grazie, esatto,
socio onorario che deve
all'associazione, ieri ho ricevuto la tessera di socio onorario, ne sono veramente orgoglioso.
Grazie a te, grazie a te. Allora io devo ringraziare tantissimo anche Alessandro Tiso, perché lui è stato sempre d'aiuto, ma non solo ha deciso di sponsorizzare, perché ci ha creduto fin dall'inizio con le sue aziende. Lui ha due aziende, una che riguarda proprio il retro gaming, il retro computer, che si chiama Retrofollie, perché bisogna essere proprio folli per pagare quello che stiamo pagando per i nostri vecchi computer, ma ha anche un'azienda molto importante che si chiama Paquet. Grazie.
Sì.
Prego.
Ciao a tutti, per me è un onore essere qua e aver avuto l'opportunità di realizzare tutto questo insieme alla nostra associazione. Grazie a tutti i nostri soci. Io sono anzitutto un appassionato di retro computer e di retro gaming. Diciamo che il mio percorso di vita ad un certo punto è cambiato, sono entrato nell'imprenditoria e oggi ho un'azienda che si chiama Paquet. Noi produciamo e distribuiamo pavimenti di legno, battiscopa e tutto quello che riguarda il mondo delle pavimentazioni in legno. Abbiamo un luxury shop a Riunito in provincia di Apertura, però siamo una delle più grandi realtà online oggi in Italia. Abbracciamo la GDO, quindi tutto quello che è Leroy Merlin o altro, quello che trovate in questi negozi, buona parte del nostro settore è il nostro materiale. Inoltre abbiamo un negozio di giocattoli usati che arrivano dal Giappone, sono giocattoli degli anni 80, tra cui buona parte sono retro computer e vecchi giochi. E niente, io sono brevissimo. Ringrazio tutti per aver partecipato a questo evento che per noi è stato davvero qualcosa di incredibile poterlo vedere prendere vita, e buona continuazione.
Grazie Alessandro. Allora, dobbiamo ringraziare ancora un altro sponsor molto importante, Energy4, che si occupa di soluzioni basate sull'intelligenza artificiale e tutto quanto per l'industria. E qui a rappresentarlo in un altro nostro socio che ci ha aiutato tantissimo abbiamo Alessandro. Tommasi, grazie.
Energy4 is a company, a spin-off of a larger group that specializes in AI solutions for all kinds of industries and technologies, and the technological revolution that is entering our life, has been entering our life for a few years now. We're exploiting that, and we do that to people like Mr. Nishi, of course, and his technological advancements which brought technology into our lives way back when. And as aficionados and enthusiasts of that type of technology, we are more than welcome we're more than happy to welcome such a nice and respected, impressive, really panel of speakers today. And we thank the MSX Italian Association for making this possible and having you all with us today. Thank you very much.
Grazie mille. Adesso incominciamo proprio la parte delle conferenze. Chiamerò per primo il professore Giuseppe Prencipe, che ci ha permesso di essere qui in questa prestigiosa università, docente di informatica nel Dipartimento di Informatica. Ho visto che ha anche un curriculum di tutto rispetto, quindi do la parola al professor Prencipe.
Grazie mille. Benvenuti a tutti e a tutte. Thanks everyone for being here. It's a pleasure being part of this wonderful event. When I first met Max about 1 year ago, or roughly, just through a screen, now it's very common. I right away felt all his energy and passion for this specific event and for this amazing group of people. So it was very easy for me to start participating and collaborating in this to this event. It's very interesting being here because Pisa, as also Fabio, my colleague, will tell you shortly, is has been first several times in the computer science domain. You know, first Department of Computer Science in Italy, first degree in computer science, first PhD, first collaborated in the building of the first computing machine here in Italy. So we are also first in organizing the MSX event in Italy, right? So this is another thing that we can add to the list of this thing. So I'm very happy to be here. I knew the MSX not deeply as you, so I started knowing it, and for sure I started also telling them to my first year students, and I'm also very happy to see here young faces, no? Because this is something that is associated to old people, or not very young people. But I'm very happy to see that some young faces are here, and maybe we can start also doing some project or some thesis or something from a scientific point of view on this specific topic. So I hope you will enjoy the event, the day. For anything I'm here if you need any logistic or something, some information. And thanks again, Max, for having me here. And
you're welcome.
Enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Ok, cominciamo la prima conferenza con il professore Fabio Gadducci, che è docente di informatica ma anche direttore del Museo degli strumenti del calcolo di Pisa. Grazie.
So I didn't really prepare an actual conference. It will be just an informal chat about a few things on myself and actually about the museum. Thanks, of course, the organization for having me here. It's a pleasure, it's an honor, and I'll try to explain my actual quite deep link with the MSX and the how can I say, all the kinds of apparati and the like that were on which MSX was pivotal early in the 80s. So, my name is Fabio Gadducci, professor of software verification here at the University of Pisa, the computer science department, which is in fact just around the corner. But of course I'm here mostly as the scientific director of the Museum of Computing Machinery, which is here in Pisa. Like Giuseppe was saying, there are plenty of firsts that we can put in our curriculum. And in fact, among the others, the fact that we built the first Italian computer scientist together with Olivetti in the late 50s. And that's the reason why, to a certain extent, that the museum is actually here. So, my interest on MSX is, first of all, as an historian of computer science. Okay, so, it's, well, I assume that I'm not saying anything new to the participants here, that MSX has been a visionary attempt to a standardized architecture which was as anticipatory as it was successful in the 80s. So, from an academic point of view, there is still plenty of interest on the development and all the surrounding social and political issue for MSX. Just a couple of months ago, actually, in the main journals, which is the Annals for the History of Computing, just appeared a long article on Sigla Z80, which is, of course, a matter of Italian proudness, so to say, because, of course, everybody knows that Federico Fagin was behind that. But what is relevant is that a long part of such an article is actually devoted to development and the spread of MSX in the world. And in fact, let me quote directly, that's why I'm here, memory is long gone, the fact that the article devotes a lot of text to the empathy spread, as I say, stating that it represented one of the most significant implementations of the Z80. And in fact, as we can here clearly witness from here, it created an international community of adopted and enthusiasts, a community which is still thriving today. So that one is, of course, impressive, and on its own is already something which is relevant to study and to look. I'm here also because I'm a gamer. So, I mean, MSX, I have to admit, was a bit late in my youth year. Okay, so, but in the early 80s, I was late 70s, early 80s, I was a big fan, let's put it mildly, of the Konami arcades. So, and of course, everybody knows that the Konami had a pivotal role in the spread of MSX. I mean, but in in particular was playing on arcades, and the first one that comes to mind is of course Frogger, which maybe, let's see if any of you can nod and say that they spent some time on Frogger. Probably yes, even if I have to say, I'm sorry to say about that, I had a soft spot for Taito, in particular for Bubble Bubble and for Mr. Blue, and also for something which is very minor, and the Sega Backpack. Don't tell me, because it's quite a rude and very little known game, even if there is of course a port on MSX which is Backpack. So I mean, for sure there is, how can I say, I have some personal feeling, let's say, towards this kind of games. But even more than that, I'm here as an educator. The fact is that, how can I say, well, it's maybe not the correct place to say that, but museums are not just a place to display machines, okay? I mean, of course, to preserve a legacy is relevant, is important. I mean, future generation, like you are doing here during this meeting. At the same time, what we really care is the fact that we would like, through the museum, through the events, exhibition and so on, try to raise the interest toward the discipline and try to attract young adults toward the study of STEM, which is a key, how can I say, a key task that institutions should have, given that, as you know, I mean, I could put another hat and say in which a bad situation we are with respect to the DESI statistic about computer literacy in Italy. So, I mean, for sure, it's an important role that we would really like to fulfill as much as possible. And of course, retro gaming is important for this. I mean, here this is the badge that, I mean, this is also 10 years of the first retro gaming, not only exhibition but also tournament that we had at the museum. Of course, it was, as you can see here, it was devoted to Mario, because, well, Mario is still probably the best known character in the whole history of gaming, so it was a clear and no-brainer to use Mario as a first thing. And of course, since we are a museum, we had the chance to allow people to play on the original console, and I mean, it was quite successful, and we had a few. We have also, in fact, a large collection of consoles. There you can find one of our Sanjo, or Sanyo, do not know exact pronounce, please forgive me, which is one of the part of a very large collection that we have. A good part of them actually in working condition. Okay, so I mean, it will be a pleasure to have people and to introduce, allow them, and we actually do allow them to play and work on this kind of machine. So, collection are large. Unfortunately, the museum is in a rather dire conditions in these days, given to I would say, a lack of interest from the local institution. So that's it. There is still a small exhibition that you can check whenever you have the time, or please, whenever you want to come back to Pisa, we would be happy to have you there. And let's say that we actually do hope to be able to improve in the future, and even if, on the contrary, it's clear looking at you that the future of the MSX community is quite bright, and it's witnessed by the interest and all the people which is here. So please, thanks again for having me, and happy meeting to everybody.
Thank you very much.